access level has recently increased. Excellent. Incoming message.
Welcome, agents, to episode 47 of Behind the Scanner. Your hosts for tonight are Andrew Krug from Virginia, Shannon from California, and Jorge Pedrero from Mexico City. Our special guests tonight are Flurin Noller from Aachen, Germany, and Pam K from Helena, Montana. Welcome to the show.
The Q&A tool is enabled for tonight's broadcast. Submit your questions throughout the show and we'll ask as many as time allows. If you know someone who would make a great guest, submit their information to us at bit.ly/BTS_guest. Finally, you can watch past episodes and subscribe to our channel at youtube.com/behindthescanner. And now, your hosts of Behind the Scanner.
So, welcome, agents. Welcome to episode 47, and we are very, very close to celebrate our first anniversary. So, be aware of that. Send us some gifts and some swag, maybe. I don't know.
I like that. It's not the script. Go ahead. Yeah, send us some swag.
Yeah. Well, and for tonight, our first guest is Mr. Flurin Noller, also known as Agent Mickey from Aachen, Germany. Welcome, man. Unmute yourself,
hey, how's it going?
Hello.
Yeah.
Wie geht's?
Ja, ich bin ein bisschen müde. I'm a little bit tired.
Yeah.
What time is it there? Is it like 3 in the morning?
Yeah, pretty much exactly like that.
Yeah,
Wow.
sorry. Well, thank you for joining us. We do appreciate it. There was a lot of people who wanted to see you on and kept submitting your names. I know we tried before and we had some technical issues, so thanks for coming back. So
I'm there.
you are here, definitely.
Yeah.
Well, besides, our common good looks, I too am from Germany. I used to live in a little town east of Frankfurt for a few years when I was a kid. And I got back to Germany recently about a year or so ago. So help me figure out where you are geographically. Where is, as Kelly likes to pronounce it, Aachen, in relation to, like, Frankfurt?
Frankfurt is pretty much in the middle of Germany. Aachen is the most western city. It's just very close to Belgium and the Netherlands. The three states point, where the three states meet, it's just a couple of kilometers from my home. I can be there with my bike in 10 minutes when frogs make a field from there. Already happened.
Yeah. Nice. Well, one thing I did notice when I was in Germany was it seems like pork seems to be a staple of your country, your cuisine. But curiously, driving all around the country, I never saw any pig farms. Do you hear that a lot? Where are all the pigs?
I honestly don't know.
It doesn't make me feel any better, I have to admit.
My cousin is working on a farm in the near of the Lake of Constance. I assume the farms in Germany, they're just way, way smaller than the farms, from the US with a huge amounts of beef around. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Florin, this is Shannon. I understand you did a year of social service in Daphne's homeland of the Philippines. How long ago was that, and what was that like?
That was back in 2008. In Germany, young men had to do a year of military service. But for people who don't like that, there were possibilities of doing some kind of social service. And for me, that was the possibility to see a little bit more of the world than just the small village where I grew up. I worked in a kids shelter for homeless kids. It was amazing to see with what a small effort you can achieve that much. We also had the outreach where we cooked meals in the morning and drove to the places in the city where there are a lot of street kids or a lot of poor kids live, and we served them the food and played with them. For these kids, it was amazing to play with me because for them I was just huge, and they liked to climb on my back and enjoy the view. I also learned diving and arnis there, which was my door to the Philippine culture. It was my possibility to get closer with native Filipinos. It was nice, really nice.
Was your time in the Philippines the reason you only like vegetables cooked in an Asian way?
Yeah, actually it really is. It was hard for me in the beginning to eat the rice with something. I'm a noodle person. I love noodles. But in Cebu I had to adjust, and I started to like the way they cooked. When we were out with the Arnis group, we ordered several plates of dishes, almost everything they had there, and everyone had to try everything, and I started to like it, yeah.
So knowing what your preference for food is, what is your favorite dish, and is a special English meal you have after events or farming?
I really love fried rice with vegetables and seafood in it, similar like the paella in Spain. But my favorite dish actually are the homemade spätzle from my mother with goulash. And for farming, I prefer flute food like beer. But if someone brings cookies to the farm, I definitely cannot say no to that.
Yeah, cupcakes.
Yeah.
I tried to make some homemade spätzle the other day, and it just didn't turn out the same as what I can get over there. Just not the same. Well, all this food talk is making me hungry, so let's chat a little bit about your Ingress experience, because otherwise I'm going to take a break and go grab something to eat. According to your friends, you have a lot of them, you are quite the fielder. So what is your MU to field ratio? Do you have any idea?
Lately it got down a little when I started playing for the medal, and not platinum, but gold. It took me almost 2 years to get the 2,000 control fields.
Wow.
So right now it's about 130,000 mind units per field. But I actually should have way less. Every time I stood at the anchor of a badass field, my anchor was the one that got attacked. And the 2 Blue Knights operations, where we fielded the complete of Ruhrgebiet with lots and lots of multi-layers, they were both times killed on my anchor, and I had the agents farm so many keys that we could rebuild and rebuild and rebuild. Also, other agents gained more mind units through that, but in the end I said, I'm just going to make the last few layers, and it turned out to be more than like 4 or 5 layers. That was weird and fun. And instead of having around 30 or 40 million mind units, when everything went according to the plan, I ended up having more than 340.
It's a nice little happy surprise.
Yes, definitely.
So for everyone watching, remember you can submit questions for our guests. If you're watching us on YouTube, just click the banner at the bottom of the video that says "Be part of the conversation." From there, just click the square grid menu icon in the upper right and select QA. So let's stick with the fielding work a little bit. What would you say was your favorite field operation and why?
My most favorite field operation, I think, Ode to Joy, that ranks very high. When we had this stupid idea of fielding the complete of Europe with anchors that are not accessible during the night. This was, back then, the biggest operation of the resistance with more than 1,300 participating agents all over Europe. And we linked through cities, so also agents without a car could participate. And seeing over 1,000 people working for your plan, staying up all night to kill a bunch of crosslinks, hiking up a mountain, or stay there overnight and link, that was just amazing.
That's cool.
So, in addition to fielding, you participated in a number of different types of global operations, including those damn artifacts. So,
Love them.
would you would you rather receive shards and your city be a goal, or would you rather be involved in sending the shard to a goal?
Um, I like both. When there was the Helios target in Spain, I helped on intel and plans. Twice already, I made a spontaneous trip to the North Sea and sent shards away. But we also had shards in Aachen. The first one was a perfect plan. We wanted to send it from Trier via the Cine Tower to Berlin. But the Berlin agents forgot the keys, and the next day it randomly jumped into our L8 farm. But with the help of a lot of agents, we managed to get the shard to Berlin anyway. But sadly, it didn't hit the target. The second artifact that hit Aachen was one of the Shonin shards that almost hit the enlightened target in Rotterdam. It was in a range of a couple of kilometers, and the resistance there managed to get it to a safe place, and we could link it to a portal in the woods of Kelmis, that's in Belgium. But I underestimated a little bit the enlightened here, and we managed to had crazy fights for that shard. 5 days, but the shard only managed to go a couple of kilometers. It didn't really move at all, and in the end, it was just beside the next portal where it was in the beginning. So then we decided to bury it in Aachen.
So what is it about the shards, the artifact game, that you enjoy particularly?
It makes you do crazy things. Yeah, it just makes you do crazy things, and I love long links.
So what sort of crazy things? What sort of crazy things did it make you do?
Yeah, as I said, I went to the North Sea twice. First time there was an artifact emerging in Stuttgart. When we had Spinnaker up, we originally wanted to send it right away to the US, but because there was Spinnaker, there was a huge field in the way, and we couldn't kill the field because the anchors were just right away. And then we sent it via Nürnberg to Cuxhaven. And we didn't have enough agents in Cuxhaven. That's why I rented a car. I got 3 other agents in that, and we just drove the 500 kilometers there and received the shard and sent it away to the UK. That was my first personal encounter with the shard, and was one of the most craziest things I've ever done.
So I'm guessing when the shards get announced, you don't get much sleep. You're
Yes.
you function very well on about 2 hours of sleep, I imagine. That's good. I wish I had that ability. All right. Well, let's talk about some of your travels since you mentioned it. You know, I don't think it's a secret, especially since you just talked about it, that you like to travel and enjoy other cultures. We talked about the Philippines a little bit. Has Ingress enabled you to travel more, or have you always been a guy who likes to go places and experience things?
I always was the guy to like going somewhere, but I was too lazy to do it. And Ingress definitely made me go outside more, and it made me save money for the next trip, especially the anomalies. It's awesome when you meet the agents that you only know from Hangouts, and suddenly you meet them in real life, and then you want to meet them again and again.
Is there a favorite place that you have visited through playing Ingress outside of obviously Germany?
That's hard to say. Every time I was somewhere else, it was different. The unique hunting night before the Barcelona anomaly was unique indeed. Was indeed unique. When I saw the sunrise at the Olympic Stadium, or last weekend I was in London for a resistance meetup and unique hunting. This was to drink something.
It's early in the morning. It's completely okay.
Yeah. The last weekend in London, there were 3 nights of 3 days straight ingressing and sightseeing, which was truly exhausting, but also very amazing.
Well, how many different countries have you been to playing Ingress?
No, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I don't know. But in Europe, the countries are small, so you cannot really count that. The furthest I've gone was Barcelona and Krakow, or London. So it's and sometimes it's only via drive-through, getting somewhere a long-time portal in the middle of Luxembourg.
Yeah, I admire your passion for travel, and certainly I'm jealous as a you've got the opportunity to jump through a number of different countries, where over here in the U.S. we're maybe jumping through states as often as you cross borders of countries. When you travel, do you travel specifically to attend anomalies, or do you work that into travel that you've already planned, or does it kind of go both ways?
It's both ways, but mostly I wait for the next anomaly dates, and then I make a travel to that place and add a few days in the beginning and in the end to see more of the place than just the anomaly.
Yeah, that's a great way to, because after the anomaly, then you've sort of seen some of the sites, and that's cool.
Yes.
So how many anomalies have you been to?
If I can make Bratislava, it will be my 13th anomaly.
Wow. That's fantastic.
I'll definitely go to Utrecht.
Awesome. Is there a single experience that either kind of sums up your anomaly experience? Was there a certain location or a certain event or something that was just really the pinnacle of your your anomaly experiences?
The after parties. When you all are exhausted from walking around the city and finally get to drink beer with the agents you haven't seen since the last anomaly. That's what makes the anomaly special and what makes the fun in the anomaly. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, that's one of the coolest things, I think, is just getting to meet people that you might not have otherwise met.
Yeah, that's right. That's the fun of the anomalies, and so that you have been in so many anomalies. I want to ask you something that I think it's really important. How do you think that the anomalies have changed on time?
You mean from from the
they're
beginning?
better.
In the beginning, the anomalies were just small little events where almost no one got there. And I remember the first anomaly I've been in Hamburg, Voynich, was that we were about 100 agents. And the last time in Hanover there were over 3,000, so it's
Wow.
just gotten huge.
That's amazing.
Yep. But I think the anomalies they haven't changed that much. They tweaked the rules here and there. The fun thing, due to the 10-minute measurements, I waste less gear. I don't know why. I use less gear than with the 5-minute measurements. I think the servers are just slower or something like that.
More people.
There's more people, yeah. Yeah, exactly,
Yeah.
Jorge.
Yeah, but I think, as you said, anomalies hasn't changed that much, but maybe the way to that every player that attends to that many anomalies, or well, not that many, not everyone has the chance to be in that many anomalies as you, but those that have been on, I don't know, 3, 4, 5 anomalies, maybe it's the way they enjoy the anomaly. It's not the same fun when you are in your first anomaly and you are all excited, and at the same time you don't know what to do, and you are like, I don't know, trying to win that event and everything. And when you are in your second, third anomaly, that you are like more calm maybe, but stressed because of the plans and everything.
I as I said, the Ingress, the game itself on the anomaly day, yeah, you just play and you keep the portal blue. But for me, that's not the point to go to an anomaly. It's just what enables all of them to go there and to meet there. And the meeting with the other agents is what keeps me going to the anomalies. So I don't really mind what's going on during the 4 measurements. If my portal is blue or green, it's that way. Most of the time the servers are lagging that much that you cannot really influence it. Just by pure math you can do something.
So, which is your craziest anomaly or artifact story?
One of them I already told, my travel to Cuxhaven. It was like 24 hours prior to my travel. I planned it, so that was pretty crazy. But the craziest, I don't know. It's no, I really don't know what's the craziest one. There are so many. I've made for one of the 13 Magnus shards. I did a 20-hour Intel run, 20 hours non-stop Intel for
That's
yeah.
impressive. That's impressive.
With the Voynich anomaly, we were just driving there, not knowing what happened. That was my first anomaly. Going to Hamburg, not knowing what will us expect. We had no idea what is an anomaly, because it was the first anomaly on Europe soil. There was one earlier in London, but that no one went there, and we were just amazed how it works. Yeah.
Well, speaking of anomalies, we've got a question from somebody who's watching that has a question about anomalies. Are you ready to jump into the viewer questions?
Of course.
All right. So the question comes from Corey C. He wants to know, which anomaly did you enjoy the most? And I'm going to ask, why? You can go ahead and alienate all the other people. You have to pick one. Which anomaly did you enjoy the most?
I really loved the Munich anomaly because it was the first time I didn't play with my usual team from Aachen. I joined an international team with all amazing agents like Toxid, Sergey, who is by now sadly green, but also Gilles from France, and Vicky, and Jens from Mallorca. It was an amazing team, and we had just so much fun all together. So I think that's my favorite for now. But I think Utrecht is going to top that because, yeah.
There's a common theme, and I agree with you that the game is about getting together with people and just sort of having a good time. And I think there's some people that take it a little bit too serious, but I'm glad to see that you're one of those folks that just has fun with it, even though you're staying up for 20 hours running Intel, driving 500 kilometers in a car. So,
yeah.
But another question is, how did you first hear about Ingress?
It was my old roommate. He told me about that game in 2012. Yeah, here, Ingress, just go to the homepage and check out the trailer that doesn't say anything about the game. And just sign up. It should be nice. And then I signed up, and a couple of weeks later I got an invite code. I started to play the game, and I okay, that's somehow boring. I don't know what to do. And one evening, yeah, no, I got that pretty quick, and also what you can do, that you can deploy resonators, but I didn't get the bigger meaning behind it. And one day where I was really pissed about something, I just went in the city and wrote Infection.com, I need to meet someone now, and I want to play, I want to understand that game now. Is someone here? And then 2 agents of Aachen replied, and then we met, and then we had an awesome night, and yeah, that was fun, and that's how I got into the community and started leveling, and yeah.
That's awesome. That's actually really interesting to hear, especially in the early days. You know, there wasn't that many people playing,
Yep.
So to put out that call for help and instantly get people to respond is pretty neat. So are you, one of the other questions is, are you one of those folks that coordinates your wardrobe with an anomaly event? Do you dress up in like the blue bodysuit or some of the other crazy things.
We have our own hoodies for anomalies. We made for the Hamburg anomaly. We made T-shirts, and we are how do you say it? Yeah, we started to make our own some kind of like a uniform, and I don't know where the hoodie is right now. It's in the washing machine. No, we dress always the same with our gray unicorn hoodies. Yes.
Oh, those are yours. I've seen those unicorns.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're the Aachen unicorns. Very old, very stupid story. Never mind.
we have time. That's
time.
what the show's about. Tell us about the unicorn story.
The unicorn. Every level 8 player in Aachen is by now a unicorn, because when I was starting in the very beginning, we had one level 8 player who was level 8 in the middle of January, and one of the level 7 players who wanted to get up to them, he said, "Oh, he's now pink. He's our pink fluff unicorn. He's so special because he can deploy the pink resonators." And that somehow got stuck, and we're still the pink fluff unicorns. We have our mascot here.
That's awesome.
Only piece of swag I own, with the anomaly pins.
Oh, very cool.
Yep.
Excellent. All right, I think that's all we've got for the questions and answers. The unicorn now makes a lot of sense. Thank you. I would not have guessed.
Well, it is that time for our BTS tradition. For better or worse, we give every guest at the end of their interview 60 seconds to talk about whatever they want or give a shout out to whomever they want. So whenever you're ready, go for your 60 seconds.
I left that note somewhere. Yeah, I want to thank every agent that I met during the history of during that 2.5 or 2 and something years of playing Ingress. It was awesome meeting every one of them. Thanks to all the agents in the cars that are cleaning when I'm at the corner and making one little click to link and making a huge area blue. It's always so much fun to work, and yeah, I'm really proud of what we have achieved here in Aachen, in Germany, and in the world as a resistance. It's just amazing. I think that were 60 seconds.
Awesome.
So I'm over.
Very good. Thanks for sharing that, and thanks for spending the time with us today. Really appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Agent Mickey, thank you very much for giving it the college try and coming back on a second time and staying up late with us again. We really appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
And before we get to our second guest, it is time for the Weekly Truth. This week we have Jose Antonio Rey joining us from Lima, Peru, to catch us up on what's going on in the Ingress storyline. So everyone, please welcome Operation Essex investigator Jose Antonio R. to the show.
Hello everyone, it's been a long time since it's been here. My life has been a mess, but I'm back with you guys. I'm so glad to be here again to share with you what's going on with the Ingress storyline. As always, let me share my screen real quick so we can get to the leaked documents and some of the things the characters have been talking about. So this week, in this week's episode, I really want to emphasize what Hank Johnson has been talking about. We know that Hank Johnson has reappeared after the Shonin Nasir ritual that Jahan did, and he says that he is the real Hank Johnson now. However, he has gone into a series of journeys or travels in order to try and find the missing Niantic investigators. As we all know, after the Shonin ritual that Jahan did, several of the Niantic project researchers, if not all of them, have disappeared. We don't know where they are, or if they actually moved somewhere, what are they planning, or what's going on here. So first he went to search for Oliver Linton Wolf. After the shown in Hanover and Only, he went to Wunstorf. A couple months ago, we read about Oliver Linton Wolf moving into Wunstorf, and he found several of Oliver Linton Wolf's paperwork just messing around in the floor. It looked like someone had all his investigations were compromised. We don't know what was really in there and did the really what did the real documents contain, because probably the valuable information has already been taken by someone. We suspect, well, actually, Hank suspects it's someone from Visitor Technology. Now, let's move on with some more Oliver Linton Wolf story. Uh, Actually, this is more a little bit about Claudia Glass. Uh, after Hank Johnson left the apartment of Oliver Linton Wolf, he met Claudia, and Claudia actually confirmed that Oliver Linton Wolf was living there. They had some discussions about the secrets they may have been working on. However, Claudia, as per being part of a company, she couldn't reveal all the secrets, or she couldn't reveal much or many secrets of what's going on, any developments that they may have made. However, she doesn't know where Oliver Linton Wolf is. However, Hank Johnson feels that Oliver Linton Wolf is inside the Portal Network. In his body, he doesn't have an idea. So I'm definitely sure that we're going to see something more about Oliver Linton Wolf in the near future. Now let's move to Martin Schubert. Hank Johnson found a hotel room in Rome where Martin Schubert was he was staying there. However, he was preoccupied because he didn't know who was going to pay for the room. Martin had left the room and never came back. So where is Martin Schubert? What has happened to him? His documents were also compromised. His documents were just scrambled all over, and Martin wasn't there. Hank actually paid the hotel manager so he could get into the room. He found all the documents just lying around as if someone had taken a look at them. Now, here's a little post that Hank did about Deborah Bogdanovich. When he met Deborah at Arecibo, he also met Paul School, and Paul was someone who was mentoring and helping Deborah. He doesn't know how Paul may be of help. However, he does know that Paul has some information, or any information at all, that may lead us to what happened to Deborah. Probably lead us to where she is now and what's going to happen in the future. Also, yesterday, Hank Johnson posted that he is going to visit the Anastec. In an effort to try and find Yuri Nagasa, he's going to go visit the Anastec, and he's going to spend a lot of time trying to reach this little town where these people live, which is actually hidden. So we'll need to see what happens there. What will be the results? Will Hank be able to find the Anastec? What has happened with Judy? Because all of them are missing. Finally, we have this picture, which is a picture of a plane window. This is a picture. This is actually a post that Hank wrote when he was in his way to find the Anastec, and he was reflecting about some stuff. Before he had Supersopolis, he tried to find out how far the 30 Magnus event had reached, and he made a list of the Niantic project members that were missing or were disappearing or he hadn't heard about in a while. First, we have Deborah. We know what her current status is. We know she has been sharded, but we don't know what's going to happen next. Now we have Oliver Linton Wolf and Martin Schubert, which we know have been missing and their materials have been compromised. The Stein Lineman and Yuri Nagasa are also rumored missing, but haven't confirmed. Ezekiel Calvin is also rumored missing, but we haven't been able to confirm where he is. Misty Hanna has been radio silent for a while as usual, but we're also suspecting that she has disappeared. And Enab Dalby, we haven't heard from him in a good while, so we're trying to figure out what's going to happen in the near future. There's a lot of information being condensed in these posts, and Hank is doing such a great effort to try and find everyone and try and find the results that I'm entirely sure that we're going to see some more in the near future. Also, we have seen some recent speculations in Operation Essex that VeritySeek is actually the Truth Seeker AI program. So we're not sure how is that going to affect us. How is that going to affect the intelligence and the leaks that we are getting on the Niantic project page? Because VeritySeek is the person who is posting these leaks as X. You may have heard about her. Her code name is X, and she has been posted in the Niantic project page since actually Richard Loeb had left the page in her hands. So there's a lot of information here. The episode number 100 of the Ingress report has revealed a lot of stuff to us. So definitely stay tuned. If you want to know more, make sure to follow the Niantic project page on Google Plus, and you'll know a lot more of the story that's going on around here. It's amazing to see all the things that are moving around this world.
That's awesome, man. Thank you. So, to sum it up, if I can, we're going to have Oliver Linton Wolfshards more than likely, which should make our previous guest and our next guest. Yeah, he's already raising his hands. Nobody else can see it, but Floren's shouting and saying yes. So Oliver Linton Wolfshards and VeritySeek is an AI program. Interesting. And then there's a whole bunch of stuff in the middle of that there's no way I can summarize. So thank you. If you guys want more information, again, operationessex.org, go there, lead you to their community. You guys do a fantastic job. You do a fantastic job of breaking everything down. So thank you, Jose. All right. So now it is that time of the show. I guess last week's were slightly disappointing, but hey, it's random, right? It is the code of the show. So these are some highly redeemable codes. Here we go. There it is. Highly redeemable codes. You can share it. A little Price is Right thing going on. Don't know what they are. They could be Jeopardy. That's the wrong music. I guess that's my cue to take it off. Okay, I'll take it off. All right, there you go. Highly redeemable codes. Hopefully you wrote it down. Share them out to everybody if you want. We don't know what's in them. They may be level 8 XMPs. They might be, who knows, NL1331 codes. We have no idea. But there you go.
And well, it's all, Andrew?
I think that's
else?
it. Nope, I'm good.
Okay. So, our next guest from Montana. Everyone, welcome to Agent Snow XTC, or better known as Pam K.
Hi.
Welcome, Pam.
Yay!
Oh, man, it's still sunny out there. That's crazy. We got Florin, who it's 3 a.m., and you, where it's probably only like 7:30 in sunlight.
Yep. It's actually really nice.
Oh, I'm jealous. That is kind of the cool thing about the show is that we get to talk with people all around the world. And, frequently somebody will say, well, can't you do it at another time, or can't you move it up or make it earlier? And the problem is there's not a convenient time for somebody who lives in China or Germany or Montana or DC or Mexico to all get together. So somebody's going to be inconvenienced, but thank you very much for joining us tonight. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
So with that, your agent name is Snow XTC. So I'm guessing you either really like the snow and the outdoors, or really like partying like a rave kid and rolling ecstasy. Which one is it?
I like the snow and the outdoors.
I was going to go with that, but you never know. So,
but
oh, there's a but. Oh, let's hear the but.
Well, I'd like to have fun too, but the ecstasy, no.
Oh, okay. Okay.
But I got the name basically because I was part of a snowmobiling forum, and we just, I don't know, I used to have the license plate OIM and XTC, and so it just kind of came about with Snow Ecstasy and everything, and then we also have Ecstasy Racing, which was an aftermarket snowmobile parts.
So speaking of snowmobile and the snow in the outdoors, I was really intrigued to learn that you built a snowmobile all by yourself. Is that right?
Yep.
So naturally, I have to ask why, besides the fact that you have snow in your backyard. Did you complete it, and did you get it running?
And I actually had snow in my backyard 2 days ago.
Woo.
It's all melted then? Oh, boy.
Yeah, it melted the same day. But, so I had the sled, about a year, and it was the middle of May, and I sort of went up a hill, and, well, it had snowed the night before about 2 feet, and I was hill climbing and ended up getting bucked off the sled, and the sled went down the hill, and so I had to rebuild the sled because I wrecked it pretty badly. And, yeah, it works great. I still actually ride it occasionally. Just occasionally. I like my new one better.
Less mileage on it, too.
So, Pam, are you a fan of things off-road in general, or are you a bit of an adrenaline junkie? Where does this come from? Or you just like to go out into the wild yonder?
I mean, I've been snowmobiling since, oh gosh, about 30 years, and been four-wheeling for probably also just about as long. And yeah, I mean, you know, snow during the winter and four-wheeling during the summer and everything. I've just always really enjoyed the outdoors and pushing the envelope a little bit.
So, have you, speaking of pushing the envelope, have you ever been skydiving?
I have. So out of a plane, a helicopter, and a big plane.
A helicopter? The helicopter was on purpose? Like it wasn't on fire or anything?
Actually, I was much happier to jump out of the helicopter than I was out of the planes.
Really? You have to explain that.
It just didn't feel right riding in the Chinook. It was actually on Fort Lewis and everything that I learned to skydive. So as well as rappelling.
So hold on. Wait. I gotta key in on something. Sorry, I'm gonna interrupt you, Shannon. Fort Lewis. Okay. Were you in the Army?
No.
So you just walked onto Fort Lewis to jump off of things?
I was married to a ranger.
Ah, there we go. See, I knew if we asked enough questions, we'd get to the bottom of it. There we go. Yes, okay.
Connect the dots.
So, have you been base jumping?
No.
Okay, so one more. You have one thing left to check off the box. I got you.
Yeah, no, I'm too old for it now.
Okay. Fair enough. So sorry, I heard that and I wanted to explore that a little more.
Gotta go down every avenue here. So what kind of vehicle do you have currently? Obviously the snowmobile is packed up and put away, so you're not riding that anymore as of 2 days ago. So what kind of vehicle do you use as your daily driver? And is it also made to go off road?
Well, first of all, the sleds won't go away until June.
Oh, nice.
But I actually have several vehicles. I mean, I have a Volkswagen Passat TDI that doesn't do well in the snow. And then, well, Andrew will probably remember my Montana Ferrari.
Oh yeah, that thing is awesome.
Yeah, my Ford Excursion. And we also have a pickup, and then we also have a Jeep that has 41.5-inch pit bull rockers on it and lockers, and is a lot of fun. Not to drive on the highway, but
Unless you're driving over vehicles on the highway.
that could be interesting. So we actually took it out. I don't know. We finally got stuck in about 4 feet of snow with it.
I'm surprised it took that much. Or it
Yeah.
only took that much.
Well, you air down the tires pretty good, and you can go a long ways.
So Pam, we discovered that you are all adventurous and brave, and you enjoy adrenaline, but you also enjoy peaceful stuff, and you are so into photography. You are in a photography club. What made you, and how long have you been looking at the world through a lens of a camera?
So, well, I've actually been, I mean, I did some photography in high school, and I really enjoyed it. And, I've done it on and off and everything, but my neighbor actually does it, and I got into the photography club and everything, and I just really enjoy getting out and seeing the beauty of things. So, and actually that one right there, that was, well, the tunnel is actually a portal. That was actually my portal pick, and it actually got chosen to be displayed at the Noer here in Helena in the month of June, so that'll be pretty cool.
That's terrific.
So
where's this photo taken of?
that photo is taken out of Corbin, Montana, which is probably about 20 miles from me. It's actually an old train bridge.
Okay, that was what I was going to ask. Is that an elevated train bridge?
Yes.
Oops, sorry. Middle of nowhere, it looks like.
Pretty much.
So you said these photos are going to be on display somewhere?
The hats and the tunnel will be on display at the Noer here in Helena.
Oh, very cool. Congratulations.
So, thank you. And I just really
let's
like.
segue into. Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
No, this is your show. It's go for it. We're here to talk to you. Nobody wants to talk to me.
I don't know. I just like, the beauty of things. So, and Ingress really has done an awful lot to bring that beauty out. I mean, there's things that I have found that I have never seen, never would have saw without Ingress.
Yeah, that's definitely one of the cool aspects of the game. I mean, I feel like we can say that about every aspect of the game, but yeah, you're going out and exploring the world that, even though you may be familiar with it, 'cause it's your neighborhood, you can find something and look at things through a different perspective and see something that you may have missed, for years, decades on end. So that's excellent. And you're taking photos of them now, so that's So let's talk about Ingress. I think I recall a post about, I don't know how long ago it was, on G+, and I don't recall the location, and it's obviously not secret anymore, but you had a 500-day-old portal. How remote was it? How hard was it to keep recharged? I mean, that's a huge feat, so talk to us about that portal.
It was actually about 10 miles off the highway. I had claimed it before Guardian stuff ever came out.
Oh, so no badge.
I had. It was actually required a cell booster, which a lot of Montana requires a cell booster. You know, we're not like, but then we also don't, when we have cell service, we also don't lag near as much as we do in cities.
I can imagine.
So, I don't know, it was just up there. I mean, the Resistance knew about it, but they just, you know, I mean, after I got my Guardian, it's like, why would they bother to take it? Even the Guardian hunters left it alone. But they figured that 500 days was nah. You know, they figured that was enough.
Well, that's a hell of an accomplishment. So how did you keep her recharged? Did you set an appointment on like your calendar every couple days?
No.
Lots of
No.
keys?
Well, you know, I mean, Helen is rather small. We still don't have, you know, we still can't go out and make L8 portals. Okay? I mean, we just don't have the people in Helena to go out and make, you know, L8 portals. And so, I mean, that's my routine when I get off work, is to charge things. And in fact, I seem to charge all the time. So it was just something that, you know, it got charged. And actually, you know, because it was a good portal and would make a good anchor, I mean, there's keys that went out, gosh, there's keys all over North America to that, and probably beyond. And there were some times that I never got to even charge it. I mean, people would just charge it. So I have about 136 million in recharging.
Wow.
Wow.
That is impressive. Hey, Pam, can you tell us about the events of Friday the 13th?
This last February, Friday the 13th. So, a little bit of background. In October, we had agents go in and just claim some of the portals within Yellowstone Park before it closed. And we had an inkling that the Resistance was going to go in and take a bunch of the portals and get keys and everything else, and had global plans for the area. But so anyways, but we didn't do anything about it. We just sat back and, you know, because we weren't certain on the intel. So, but when they did it, it was like, okay, we've got to do something. You know, we can't allow this to happen, because the portals are only accessible by snowmobile, and only certain times of the day, and unless you can get a guide permit to go, you could never hit all of the portals that they had taken. And so we did manage to get a permit, and 4 of us, there was me, Magic Jen, Laughley, and then Terry, Magic Jen's husband. And the 4 of us rented 2-up snowmobiles, and Terry and Magic Jen had never gone snowmobiling, so they pretty much rode or rode on the back, and we actually did 165 miles in 14 hours, and took about 22 portals back.
Wow.
How are your knees and your back doing?
They're fine. I mean, for me, it was nothing. It's actually harder for me to trail ride than it is to get out and really ride.
Well, that was interesting. Did Google decide to kick everybody out of the Hangout? All right. I think our master.
There,
There we go.
we're getting back. Damn.
That's a new one. That's a new one on us. I gotta say,
Yeah.
I don't think we've ever had everybody get booted out of a Hangout before. So let's see here. We got Pam back, so she's there. That's good. Shannon's back. Jorge's back. All right. Well, we can click buttons and get ourselves back up as we keep talking. Don't worry about throwing your lower third back up, Pam, if you don't want to. It's not a big deal. But we were talking about Yellowstone. You captured portals. Really, really long ride, and easier for you to trail ride than it is to just get out and ride.
No, actually, it's harder to trail ride than it is to just get out and ride.
So was this a trail ride? That has to be a trail ride.
Well, yeah, they're groomed trails. The biggest obstacle that we ran into, and truly, I must say, it's the biggest obstacle we ran into, was the buffalo, because they tend to be on the roads. You know, it's easier for them to move on the roads and everything else, and so it's like, yeah, why go to Spain when we can just go to Yellowstone Park and run with the buffalo? You know, because we wanted to pass them, but you know, so you had to ride by them and hope that they didn't turn on you and everything else.
Wow.
That's not a problem we normally have here in Washington, D.C. You have gridlock without buffaloes.
I think I'd rather have buffaloes than some of the stuff you have in Washington, D.C. I'm good with that.
That's true. Yeah.
You know, as long as you're not a threat to them, they tend to be okay with you.
Well, guys, now that Pam is taking a break, taking a sip of her water, if you want to ask her something, please go to YouTube and go to the banner at the bottom of the video that says "Be part of the conversation." From there, you just have to click the square grid menu icon in the upper right and select Q&A, and that's the easiest way you can ask her right now or every guest we have every Thursday here on Behind the Scanner, whatever you want. So, Pam, Andrew tells me that you have had your hands in the shard cookie yard on a number of occasions. He couldn't remember. So, I want to ask you this: are you crazy, or you just like the challenge they present?
Probably both. They are very challenging. They are very time-consuming. I am pretty crazy. It makes you do crazy things, as Floren said. It does definitely make you do some crazy things. I mean, when I first got my first shard from Mount Rushmore to Hauser Dam, gosh, it was minus 18 degrees.
Yikes.
Wow.
And I had been there since, probably 1 o'clock in the afternoon and was there till close to 11. I kind of had this spot that was like, you know, outside of its frost, and then it's, you know, basically not frozen where the exhaust was and everything else. But, yeah, it was pretty cold.
Yeah, it sounds like that.
I think we actually met initially because of the 13 Magnus Jarvis shards. Is that right?
We did.
So that was back in 13. Yeah, long time ago.
For Ingress, yeah, it was a long time ago.
So the cool thing that I like about Ingress is that You know, you can play the game however you want. You like shards, Florin likes shards. I absolutely abhor them. There's nothing in the TOS. There's no contract that you sign with your faction that states you must participate in something or the other. There's multiple ways you can play the game and derive enjoyment from it. So kudos to you. I support you in your endeavor to chase those things in the middle of the night in the 18-degree weather. Let me know how I can help you. I'm not personally going to be going out there and doing that, though. So, thank you.
Well, you were there with me.
Yeah, and that was
at least on Hangouts. You were there with me.
Yeah, that was the last time too, because like we talked about with Florin, he may do well with 2 hours of sleep. I personally can't do that. So, but there's a lot of people that like that. There's a lot of people that just like anomalies. There's a lot of people just like to field. There's a lot of people that just want unique portals. That's all they care about. So it's kind of the blessing and the curse. You've got the ability to do whatever you want, and then there might be some expectation that you do some other things, but nothing that says you have to. So
yeah, I mean, occasionally there's we have a field coming through. We need this cleared or something like that, and people will definitely go out of their way to help their faction.
Yeah. Well, we kind of touched on it. We talked about the shards, but one of the things that I know you love, as we just kind of mentioned, is big fields, going out doing some of these crazy things. So is it the challenge of planning them, getting the reward of getting them up, or is it something else that you really enjoy about making these giant fields and links?
I really like planning them. I like looking for the lines that really need to go, but I really like making them happen. I mean, it's a challenge, and it becomes more and more of a challenge every day with the more players that we get. I mean, we tend to use, it's kind of gone to the point where we tend to use more Adas than we end up, to take out green links than we have to take out blue links. And it's growing immensely, but it's still, it's still a challenge. It's still fun, and the bigger the better. I mean, for me to cover Helena, I get between 20 and 29K in a single layer. So for me to get MU, I've got to cover it, 7+ times. So, which for Unity, we couldn't get links down that we needed to get down. And so basically my part was not going to happen. So I, on the way back home from key exchanges, I basically just asked Intel, what blockers do I have from here? And I already had some links up, and so basically I just threw up 7 layers over Helena.
It's nice when a plan comes together like that, isn't it?
Yeah, it was not planned, but it was, one of those quick plans. So.
Well, it sounds like you have a really great team of agents out there. You are an absolute warrior, Pam, to do some of those things that you've done. But it sounds like the community there, even though you don't have a lot of players, it's growing, and you continue to have the sustained success, because of that team. What do you think is the secret to team building? Developing a strong team and keeping everyone on the team engaged, feeling like they have a sense of ownership.
I think it's about respect, and I don't care if you're a level 1, and I don't care if you're a level 16. I mean, a level 1, sure, I'm going to help you level, and a level 16, I'm not really going to go out and blow up portals for them to claim. But it's all about respect to other people, and just getting them engaged, and what can we do? Let's do this. Let's do that. I mean, I have fantastic intel that also does a lot of, hey, let's do this and let's do that, but he prefers to stay behind the scenes and everything. And so I've just kind of got a big mouth on sometimes. And I reach out to people. I have a really great network of friends. I consider them all friends. I try to do a lot of team building, both for the enlightened, but I also think that ever since we had the anomaly here last year, I really try to build Ingress and try to make it better for all the players. And I'm still dedicated to the enlightened, but I will, I'll teach the resistance, some of the, how to play the game and everything too. I don't tend to be a really mean person, even though sometimes people say I am, but I tend to be more passionate about the game.
Well, talking about what you do in your real life that is not Ingress and it's not Ingress related, you are a system analyst who love data mining. So what do you think about the personal stats that Niantic has revealed under the Agent tab? And are there any stats that you like to see that don't exist yet?
Well, on the data mining that I do, I'm more like, how many times has this portal been captured? How many times, I'd like to see stats on some of the things, but not necessarily on the agent page or on the agent stats. I would like to see badges for what we destroy. Since I do tend to help people level up and everything else, I do a lot more destroying than I do building. Except for my fields. I like to build fields, but I don't like small fields. I like the big ones. And I learned my lesson on not keeping Helena under a field for a long period of time. That just doesn't do well for anybody. Not for me and not for anybody else playing Ingress. So I try, I made the promise this year that if I, when I field, there'll be at least one portal they can get to. I can't say easily, but they can get to it. And so it's been the other way though. They've been fielding a lot more too. So I don't know. I feel the need to field. Just a warning there, guys.
It's like a Top Gun quote gone Ingress. I feel the need. Need to field. So, Pam, you mentioned on the guest survey that you want to talk about more transparency of the global enlightened leadership, and that there are leaders in everyone's area to help with any issues that come up. Do you want to expand on that or clarify? What did you mean by that?
So, well, there's so many agents out there that don't even understand that this is played globally. They don't realize that they do or that they can and do make a difference. And that there is leadership out there for them to bring up with issues. I think teams start with a single town, a single state, in Floren's case maybe the country, but since they're smaller over there. But basically it's building your community and everything. My community has really grown and everything, but there is leadership out there. This is played globally. There are people that you know, if you want to do something big, if you have a big idea, ask. You know, ask those people that stand out as leaders and everything. I mean, they'll be there for you. And as for, you know, global enlightened leadership, we are needing to get out more. I mean, to realize that, hey, we do exist. We're a team. We're all a team. There is no leader. And everything. And I mean, I may be kind of a team leader here in Montana, but I'm part of a team. I couldn't do this without my team. So we couldn't build huge gigafields without a team of people, a huge team. So
yeah, the game definitely relies on a network of people, especially nowadays. You know, in the early days, you could have got away with sort of focusing just locally. And like I said, you can play the game however you want, so if you still want to focus locally, you, by all means, can do that. But like you said, if you have an idea, just start asking people, asking around. Best way to figure out how to do it. So, are you ready to jump into the viewer questions? We've got a couple.
Sure.
We're running just a bit long because Niantic tried to hijack our video feed there. Not sure what that was all about, but we're back. That was Ada, I guess. All right, so they pulled them up here. I believe Zeke Cow's got one. He wants to know, what is the most daring thing you've ever done in order to get the best photograph?
Ooh, in order to get the best photograph, huh? Gosh, I guess climb to the top of a mountain on my snowmobile.
I think that will accept that answer. That'll qualify.
Yeah, the climb was about 3,000 vertical feet.
Wow.
That's amazing.
And so that was the Chinook came and picked you up, and then you skydove. Yeah.
No, you have to ride down the hill, which is actually sometimes worse than going up.
I can only imagine what that's like. I've snowmobiled, just never climbed up a 3,000-foot mountain to do so. All right, Kelly Colton has one for you. She wants to know. Let me phrase it the way that she wrote it. Koala, great animal or greatest animal? And please tell us the story behind your profile picture.
So I was over in Australia, actually meeting my natural father for the first time, and I ended up getting my picture taken with the koala. I've always loved koala bears. I've always had a kind of a thing for them, and so to get my picture taken with him was pretty cool. He did pee on me, which I was not happy about.
You excited him so much.
If you're going to get peed on by something, though, it might as well be a koala.
That's true. I mean, he was actually very friendly. They actually have pretty sharp claws, though.
I imagine it just smelled like cupcakes and flowers, right? Because they're koalas. They're so cute. How can it...
Yeah, you think they're all cuddly and...
Nice. So you survived the drop bear attack. That's good. That's good.
I did. I survived the kangaroos as well, and I actually really enjoyed Australia and would really love to go back someday.
If only you knew a way to connect with people that may live over there, and I don't know. It might be tough.
Oh yeah. I could think of a few offhand. So. And that's another thing that's so amazing about Ingress is it really does connect a lot of people. And I mean, I know people in Australia now, and if I wanted to, if I had the opportunity to go, I could just go, and they would, I'd have people to play with. I'd be told the best places to go and everything else. So Ingress is really a great community, even on both factions. I mean, when my father passed away, both factions were there for me here in Montana, so it was pretty awesome.
Not to change the tone of the interview, but there was a story that I just saw today. It's related to that though, where there was I think it was a guy whose sister moved over to Mali. They lived in the U.S. and it kind of, I guess they had a little bit of falling out, and they didn't speak. And I guess shortly after she moved to Mali, she passed away, and the family didn't have, she'd just gotten there. They didn't have any contacts. They didn't know, was it somebody trying to fake the family out and scam them for anything? They just had no way to really verify anything. And so I believe it was an Enlightened player. I reshared the post. You could check my feed and you'll see it. And they contacted the Enlightened players over in Mali and said, hey, can you go check on my sister? Well, at first she hadn't passed away. She was in the hospital. So a person knew a friend that worked at that hospital, verified that a person with that name definitely did check in. So that was legit. And then I think it was the next day, another person went to go take a picture of her to just confirm that it was her sister. And in between, I guess, the time when she had left to go there and she arrived, the person passed away. And so she had to relay that to, this Enlightened player across thousands of miles away, that in fact her family member did pass away. The touching thing, though, is she went there, she flew there. The Enlightened folks stayed with her the entire time, helped her arrange things. I guess one of them, and I apologize if I get it wrong, they sort of put a down payment on being able to get the body released, or they put some collateral of their own up. I think it was like a bicycle or something like that, to help the person. She didn't realize that at the time. So yeah, I mean, it's this huge network of folks that come together. You instantly have something to bond over, in good times and in bad times. And it's I think it's unique in that aspect. You're not just sitting behind a headset playing Madden 2015 and having a 12-year-old yell at you and saying words that just they shouldn't know at that age. So on that note,
that was a great post, though.
it was a really touching story of how, this is, I think my reshare just said, this is Ingress. There's nothing more to say. It's very cool to see that. So yeah, hearing other stories like yourself where your faction mates, supported you. I think that's...
Oh, but it wasn't just my faction. It was actually both factions.
But true. Fair enough. Then that even makes it even better. People are able to see behind the scanner that there's actually a person there, and sort of not let that bias them in being human beings. So I think Ingress is definitely unique in that. I have absolutely no idea how to transition from that into anything else, so I'm going to end the viewer questions with that, and we'll just go on to the last part. So Jorge, you're up, my man.
Okay, well, Pam, you have now your 60 seconds to say whatever you want, whatever you want to say out loud. You have the microphone, so go.
Basically, I just want to thank everybody, both factions, for giving me the joy of playing Ingress. Without the resistance, we really wouldn't have a game. So we need you. We love you. I also want to thank all of my team in Montana and beyond, and everybody that I've met. I've met some incredibly awesome people playing this game. I guess I'll give a shout out to Grizzbear and Demotu and Wagga and quite a few other people. So
you could just say thank you to everybody I've interacted with. You don't have to list all the names.
Yeah, thanks everybody.
It's like the Oscars.
Thanks for some awesome anomalies and and everything. So
Very cool.
Awesome, Pam. Well, guys, it has been a pleasure to have these two guests tonight. They're awesome, great interviews. You are, we are so grateful that you uh, accept to be with us tonight.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for joining us, Pam.
thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Pam.
So, well, this is over. Well, for me it's 9:21, so we are long. But thank you, guys. See you next Thursday. We are on anniversary season, so keep watching.
That's right. I've got word that allegedly, and you can't see me right now because I'm queued up to end the show, but yeah, we've word that something special might be able to be given away. Or
Something ghosty?
I honestly, I don't know. All I was told was something special is going to happen. So it's our 1-year anniversary. Stay tuned.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens. And thank you for watching. Good night. Happy hacking. I think
Bye.
Good night, everybody. Guten Nacht or Guten Morgen.
Yeah, Guten Morgen, Floren.